in the recording process, when should I get my song mastered?
I think you should get your song mastered when you're really serious about your music and that particular piece of music. I always, again, when I shop anything to a record company, I always have the stuff mastered. I believe radio and record companies, they just like demos or things that don't sound finished, whether it's subconscious or consciously. I just don't think that I think they have a harder time hearing through them, even though they say, oh, yeah, you can do a good production demo and it's enough. Yeah. So, I always undersell and say, it's a demo. I never say it's mastered. I always say, oh, yeah, matter of fact, I never bring it up. But when they put it on, again, it should be blowing them away. So if you're playing stuff for a publisher, no, you don't need to get it mastered. If you're playing it for a producer and you're really trying to court this producer, meaning, man, we want this guy to produce a couple cuts on our record, you might want to get something mastered just so he's like, because it definitely brings the vocals closer, and you guys are singers, so, what's more important than the vocal?
Yeah, and I like to think, when you talked about pitching to labels and having it mastered before then, I like to think, a couple of guys that I know or have met, they kind of give off this air that they know best. And so when you give them something that sounds like it's a radio hit already, I think they have in their head kind of like, wow, well, if I could get my hands on it, look what I could do with it. And if it sounds like gold already.
That's a great point because, again, I've always believed, and I think this has really served me very well, that in the record business, it is so ego driven.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, if you bring something in, like you said, and it sounds great, no matter who the A&R guy is, whether it's great or off or whatever the deal, he's still going to want to do something to make himself feel a part of it. And when you give him 5 bullets in the gun, there's one left, and he can just say, well, I want to go in and remix it so I can lift the hi-hat up.
Yep.
And I know that sounds foolish, and that's certainly, I don't mean to be demeaning to anybody that's doing that. I'm just saying, we all have egos. Just like if you're in the studio with your brother, all his ideas suck and yours are great.
Every single one of his ideas suck. Yeah, absolutely.